Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey. So this
Hey.
is sort of a podcast, isn't it? But the interesting thing is, I'm in the grip of mania at the moment, and we're talking bipolar twin flames. So it could be a podcast, and this might never go out anywhere. But I just thought it would be interesting to speak to Lynn and to all of you when I'm manic and just see where it goes. Yeah.
Yay. And I mean, obviously when I'm manic, I can't
Yeah.
really slow down. I can't really, even though you're manic right now, like you're very calm, you're still talking calm. You're not talking like a million miles an hour. You're not like flying
No.
all over the place,
Yeah.
So,
I suppose what you can't see is what I'm doing um, with my body, and I can't keep my body still at the moment. I'm kind of rubbing my legs, and my hands are clapping together, and I literally cannot sit still. Um, and let's talk about what I've done tonight. So I've spent money. I've ordered a shirt, which is a lovely shirt actually, but
which
I've
is not
ordered
really that expensive, so it's okay.
no,
It's not
it's
that
not
expensive.
expensive. Yeah, but I do have a real impulse at the moment to go on Amazon and order loads of stuff, and I also have an impulse to talk to people. Where I am at the moment, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I really, 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 really want to go out and meet people. Um, yeah,
I've actually, I don't think in all my mania I've actually felt
yeah,
that. For my mania, I kind of get directed places. Like I have in my mind, I have
yeah,
places that I have to go, missions that I have to accomplish, things that I have to do. Not
yeah,
really focused on like partying or anything like that. I've never really. Maybe when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I definitely partied a
yeah,
lot. But the bipolar diagnosis came full circle, and I was actually labeled bipolar.
yeah.
I never actually had that need to go out and club and meet people the way you do.
Well, yeah, I mean that's interesting, isn't it? Because I suppose your mania is more intensive, and so it's almost uh, I don't know if you'd agree with this, but it's almost a psychosis sort of thing. Whereas my mania is about wanting to go out and just grab people by the shoulders and shake them and say, I'm here. I'm here. Listen to me. And you know what? And I do that when I'm manic. I go out and I meet these people and I talk to them 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 so much and I persuade them. And I've been in Brighton when I've been leading groups of people round the city, to try and find another club to go to. You know, um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And that's what I really want to do now, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't do it. It's so frustrating.
It's Friday night. You can do it, but you shouldn't do it. It's Friday night.
No, I shouldn't. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The club's
I'm not.
open.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I do have a
I'm such a
certain amount
horrible
of
influence. I'm
self-awareness.
like the club
Yeah,
is open.
yeah. There's
But
plenty
you
of
know
gay.
they banned you from there. They banned you from there, didn't they?
Oh
The
no,
one
well I
place
got in
you.
afterwards, so it was a temporary ban.
Oh, you went back.
Yeah, I went back. I've been back a couple of times since. So yeah.
Oh. Did you ever
I
get your
tell you
jacket
what
back?
though.
You had left your jacket there.
Oh yeah, I lost my coat. Yeah, yeah. But that's far from being the only item of clothing I've ever lost. um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I, if I feel like this tomorrow night, I probably will go out, and I hope I don't actually, because I do have enough self awareness to realise that this is mania. Um, and I wonder, and I'm thinking of you and your mania. And I'm wondering how much self-awareness you have when you have mania.
I have no self-awareness.
Yeah.
None. None.
And
None.
that's a big difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, isn't it?
Hmm. I
Mm.
have no idea that I'm manic.
Yeah.
None. This summer, I was driving my car all over the place, Long Beach, all over the place.
Yeah.
I kept
Yeah.
going back and forth to Long Beach, kept going back and forth to, and every car that stopped at the stoplight next to me, I raced them. I raced them. Every single, I burned my car down to the oil, burned my tires
Yeah.
down to the ground.
Yeah.
My dad told me he had to basically tape back up my car back together because I burned the crap out of her. And I wasn't aware of any
You
of it.
see, yeah, yeah, and you see that's to me, and that is obviously a really distressing thing, isn't it? But to me, I listen to that story, and in the space I am at the moment, it feels heroic.
It's funny because I drive like I have nothing to prove.
Yeah,
I drive so slow. I let everybody go in front of me. I let people,
yeah,
cut me off, go
mm,
in and out of traffic, all over the place. I don't care. But if I really want to and become a speed demon, I know I could. But I have nothing to prove to no one because I already know I'm the shit. I could take any idiot on the road. I
yeah,
could take
yeah,
them with my Corolla. I know I can. But why do I need to
yeah,
prove that? Why do I need to slam on my brakes? Why do I need to slam on my gas? What for? To prove to
and
do what?
yeah, yeah, and you know what? That's a
I've
really
driven.
interesting. Yeah, go on.
I've
Yeah,
driven and I've driven and slammed into so many cars on the highway. Slammed into one, slammed into the other, slammed through a barrier, and the airbag goes off. That's how I lost my black Corolla.
wow,
And I
wow,
survived. And the black Corolla that I had, I love that car probably more than the one I have now. But the one I have now, my mom was telling me is a really interesting thing. She was telling me that Native Americans believe that everything has a soul, even
yeah,
your books, even your dresser, even your computer, your
yeah,
car. Everything has a soul. Everything that belongs to you is a part of you.
yeah.
I can never be separated from my car. That thing is just I feel it. It's an extension of myself. It's the weirdest thing. It's the
No,
weirdest
I
thing.
absolutely understand that. I think we do invest characteristics, human characteristics, into objects, don't we? And that's a natural. I think that's a natural thing. I think everyone does it. Um, but what's interesting for me is you say, I hear that story, and you're talking about putting your foot on the gas, and that's how I feel at the moment. I'm putting my foot on the gas.
Yes.
You know,
Being fun to
I'm I'm
guess. Yeah.
I'm I'm just I can't. Oh, I can't contain myself. It's so okay. Let me try to explain how I'm feeling. It's as though my my aura, my soul, is so much bigger than my physical presence at the moment. It's like it's reaching out, and my physical feeling is one of complete agitation and inability to stop. Like my legs are tapping on the floor, and my hands are tapping on my legs, and I'm moving my head around. And I was before I called you, I was listening to some old school trance music, and I'm in my flat and I'm just dancing around.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you. Every night, every night, I feel a spike of mania. Like every night, like
right,
I feel,
okay,
I feel, I feel before I take my pills, or sometimes even after I take my pills, I feel on top of the world. I feel like
yeah,
I own the world, and I have
yeah.
this globe. Did I show you Did I show you the video of the globe that Dave gave
Yes,
me?
you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
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 it's right on top of my desk, right?
yeah,
And I would just put on like something on Pandora, one of my favorite songs that I give a thumbs up to, because you could do a thumbs up on Pandora and it saves all your
Yeah,
songs that you do that with. That's pretty cool with Pandora.
yeah,
And I could be listening to something at Pandora, or something on Amazon I select, and I put my hand on top of the globe, and I think, I own this world. This world is
uh-huh,
mine. And I feel this
yeah,
power
yeah,
build up in my mind. I put my hand on top of the globe and I say, you're mine. And I look up into the sky and I'm like, you're mine. And I feel this power rise up into my brain and over
yeah,
my aura into my spirit. And I feel like I literally rule the world. And I've been feeling that. And it's not like it's manic. Like, I'm
yeah.
sitting here like, oh my God, I'm manic. I rule the world.
That's
I'll scream out the
that's
window and all this other
absolutely
shit.
yeah. That's absolutely what you described it as, a spike of mania.
A spike of mania. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
and that's
spike. And it
really that.
happens.
I'm so interested to hear that because I do get those. I get those spikes as well. You know.
Yeah, what we have to identify is when those spikes level out, and they level out high.
Yeah,
Like, you get a spike and the spike stays up there. Get the
yeah,
spike of mania, and the spike just stays up there, and you keep flying upwards. And you don't come back down to reality and say, okay,
and
now it's time to go to
actually,
sleep.
yeah,
Now it's time to do something.
and actually, you know what? That's about choice. I have a choice, and this is something that I've learned in therapy. I have a choice whether or not I let myself go manic or into depression. And
How?
today, I've actually made the choice to go manic. I think
Why did you do that? How did you do that?
I felt it come on, and I felt the energy, and I knew it, and I said to myself, you know what? I could stop this now. I could go to bed. I mean, as I say, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I usually go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, and I could have done
Yeah.
that. And there were many, 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 many points during the evening where I could have just said, you know what, I'm going to bed. I'll take some more Seroquel, and I'll just sleep because I've got nothing to do tomorrow. But I felt that energy, and I said to myself, in a selfish way, actually, you know what, I'm going to indulge myself. I'm gonna grab that energy and I'm gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm. I've actually
'Cause yeah, it feels so good. It just feels so good. Sorry, you were gonna say.
it does feel no, it does feel good. It does feel
Yeah,
good. And
yeah,
I just the thing with bipolar one, or well, in my experience with my mania, is that I
mm,
go so fast that I can't stop to say it feels good.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't I don't know. I mean, I feel powerful. I feel strong. I feel awake. I feel alive. But I'm going so fast that I can't see the ground below me.
absolutely. And you know what? I've at a remove, I've experienced your mania because there's I think probably the last two times that you've been really high, I've spoken to you and I've known that you were high and that you were. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, you were talking about stuff that just was out there, you know?
Yeah. I still
Yeah.
believe those things. I'll tell you. I still
Yeah,
believe those things,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
I keep them to myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything I told you, I'll tell you now, everything that I told you in those manic moments, I still
Yeah.
believe everything about aliens and all that. I believe all of that. And I'm not manic, and I'm just as calm and as, serene as anybody else. I keep it to
Yeah.
myself though, because I know what's happening. And
Yeah.
and it's like no one is in. Remember I told you about people shouldn't interfere what goes on in other people's worlds.
Mm.
In my world, I'm connected to the universe and everything in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no doctor or no person has any right to come into my world and like medicate me and tell me this is wrong,
Yeah.
this is insane, this is whatever. It's my world.
And and you know what?
I live and dictate my own world.
I absolutely respect that, and I hope that I've never done it because even when you were manic and I was seeing that, I didn't. I hope I didn't say to you, and I don't think I did.
No, you never
I never
did.
I
No,
never
you
said to you
didn't.
that you were wrong or that what you were believing was
No, you never
untrue.
did.
Yeah.
You never did. You
I
never
just
did.
I think I was just hoping to be there for you.
No, you were. You were
Yeah.
very positive influence when I went through all of that, and I will
Yeah.
tell you to this day, I sat in my room, and lights of red, yellow, and green were right side out my window, and no one could take that away from me.
Yeah.
I saw them with my own eyes, but I was too scared to turn around and go outside. Cause like, oh shit, they're here.
Yeah.
And as crazy as that sounds, it's what I saw. It's
Yeah.
what I saw. And I'll tell you, Ian, there were times when I went out to Long Beach in the middle of the night and I walked out into the ocean. There was no one on the beach. It was
Yeah.
pitch black dark. There was no one on the beach. It was pitch black dark. It was just me.
Yeah.
And when I walked out into the beach, the water receded and I went out farther than I've ever gone. And then I dropped to my knees and I said, punish those that hurt me when I was really upset about the hospital, what
Yeah.
they did to me in there. I dropped to my knees and I prayed to God right there in the middle of the pitch black dark, only one on the ocean, like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I felt that's something I had to do. But things like that, they look at it, they're like, oh my God, they'll lock me up, they'll do this, they'll do that, because like, the hell is she doing? But that's the
Yeah.
passion, that's the drive behind what's in my world, what's in my
Yeah.
mind, my world that belongs to me, my pain. That's how I dealt with my pain, you know? People
Yeah.
deal with their pain with drugs, alcohol, whatever. I needed to go out into the ocean and cry about my pain. That's how I dealt with it.
That's really, I think that's amazing that you have that awareness of your world
It's all
and
around me.
you hold on to that, and there's a kind of fundamental thing there, something really strong and really beautiful about that. And I've got to admit, I'm and I know I'm manic, and this is probably why, but I am, I'm crying now
I feel it.
hearing that.
I tell you, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. I know it. I know it
Yeah.
because things like that. I tell you, I was crying about let's see, 4 hours ago. I was I was at
Yeah.
my laptop and this song came on the radio. It
Yeah.
was by Whitney Houston. It's called "The Greatest Love of All."
Oh, I know it.
I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
I actually sang that at my graduation in elementary school or kindergarten. One of those
Yeah.
two. I'm not sure which one. And the memories of that day when we all sang, all 30 of us, all the kids, you know,
Yeah.
um, that song is about children and about hope and about the future, you know.
Yeah.
And I cried, you know. I was
Yeah.
singing along. I haven't heard that song in 20, 30 years, you know.
Yeah.
I started crying when I heard the song. I started singing along. I was crying when I heard the
And
song.
it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that is something that's fundamental to both bipolar one and bipolar two, is that we have these huge ranges of emotion.
Yeah, they go far.
They go far, and
They go
actually they go.
far.
And I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I think there are people out there who, the majority of people who don't have bipolar, don't experience the sort of swings of emotion that we do, and the swings of emotion that we have can be damaging, but they're so beautiful as well.
Yeah.
They are
You know
so
what? When it when
beautiful.
it when it when it dips low and when it dips low and we can't get out of bed and we're like paralyzed in our bed. I mean, that's when
Yeah.
it's being bipolar, having any kind of mental illness is horrible. But
Mm.
there's something to be said about. I was reading on Reddit. You know, Reddit is kind of like a big hole, black hole on the internet. You kind of get
Yeah,
lost in Reddit. But I was reading someone posted today that a lot of people that post on there that are depressed don't go see a
yeah.
therapist. They don't be proactive.
No,
I
no.
mean, one of the things I've learned, and there's some truth to it. We have to take responsibility
Yes.
for what we have. If we
Every.
have a mental
Yeah,
illness, if we're
yeah.
depressed, we have to seek help. We can't just sit there and cry about it and post
You're
online about it,
absolutely right
bother our
because
friends
yeah,
about it.
you're absolutely right. It's not an excuse, is it?
No, and I've learned that you can't hide behind it either. I've hidden
No.
behind
Yeah,
being bipolar for so long, not and when I have
yeah,
all these skills that I could work full time, but I just can't get past it. And I think I just chose the wrong career. Now I'm
yeah,
going to be doing my writing career. My writing career come off the ground, then I'll have, you know, I'll have a career that I'm proud of, and I won't
yeah,
falter with. And if I have a bad day with the bipolar, I won't write that day. But
yeah.
it's can't hide behind the illness.
No,
Can't
you
hide
can't.
behind it.
Absolutely. And it's, as I say, it's not, there are a lot of people out there, I think, who have mental health conditions who um, sometimes use the mental health condition as an excuse for bad behavior, for wrong behavior. And I won't.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I've been one of those people.
I have to. I
Yeah.
have to.
I've
I have
done.
to.
I've done awful things.
I have
And
to. You know,
yeah,
and you know, Ernie, my therapist was with me when
yeah,
I went through all those men before Dave. I mean,
yeah,
between 2007 and 2010, when I met Dave, I must have went through like 400 men, and I'm not exaggerating. Every
yeah,
week I saw him, it was another three or four that I was going through. It was
yeah,
another three or four names at least. Well, this one, and this one. It was never like, I met a guy, we would talk about him for a month. It would be three or four different men I slept with every week
yeah.
for 3 years.
But that's it. We are consumers in a real fundamental sense. We are consumers. We consume
Yeah,
things. We want to have everything. So we do go through those periods where we're so and I think sexuality is something that we can talk about in another podcast because I think that's really important. But that hypersexuality is so all encompassing for us.
it's very powerful. Um,
Hugely powerful. Yeah. Are you
it's
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed. I'm
Good.
sitting
Good.
back. I'm sitting up. I'm relaxed. I got the radio on. I'm good. But
Cool.
it's like there's a certain power that
Yeah.
comes with it. And
Oh, it's a huge power. Yeah.
that power is what makes us cross that line. You know,
Yeah.
cross that line into like what is crazy and what isn't.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, Ian. I've been drawing diagrams for them, for stuff for them on Mars. I've been of equipment, of
Yeah.
things they could use. I've been making time maps and time charts. For
Yeah.
what? I'm getting this information from somewhere. Is it in my crazy brain or is it from something else? I don't know.
No. No.
But I'm
Absolutely.
expressing it.
Yeah.
I'm expressing my expression of whatever I draw, whatever it comes from my head. The same
Yeah.
thing Nikola Tesla saw, the same thing Einstein saw, the same thing Vincent van Gogh saw, and they put it on paint.
Yeah.
We get the inspiration from somewhere, somewhere, something tells us what to do and how to do it, and what makes sense, and what we can
Yeah.
create. Our That spark of creation that we have is
Yeah.
divine. from anyone, from an actor to a singer to a, like a Aretha Franklin. Look at her. These
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
came into this world and, they did things. Robin Williams, all these people, Carrie Fisher, all these
Well,
people, Leonard Nimoy,
yeah.
everyone, they all had that spark, that something,
I
that
believe
something.
I'm right. I believe I'm right in saying that Nina Simone was bipolar.
Who's that?
Oh, you don't know Nina Simone?
No, who's that?
She's a singer. She did songs like "My Baby Don't Care for Me" and that sort of thing.
I don't know. You gotta
Oh,
tell me what the
I'm
song.
gonna send you. I've got to send you some Nina Simone then.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're at 25 minutes, and I'm
Okay.
I've got to be honest. I'm feeling the Seroquel hit in now.
Great, great,
Yeah, which is good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can end this podcast. So this is our Mania podcast. I think it was great. I'm gonna post this. This is
Thank
great.
you.
This was
Yeah,
good.
I think it's good. So we'll say goodbye to everyone
Mm-hmm.
or anyone who's listening to this. I say everyone. I don't think
Right.
everyone's going to be listening to it, but
Everyone's listening.
yeah,
Everyone's gonna listen.
but anyone who's listening to this. So thank you for listening, and we will
Thank you
see
for
you soon.
listening. Yes,
Bye.
next week. Bye bye.
Yeah.